The impact of the Almeda Fire will continue to be felt for years. Phoenix and Talent are starting the rebuilding process, but it will take time. High school athletics are already starting to feel the effects as well. In order to help the team still be competitive, the athletic department at Phoenix High School petitioned to move from 4A to 3A for just a few years.
And what we're asking them when we make this appeal is that they take a look beyond those numbers and consider what's really gone on in this community.
But when the OSAA Executive Committee met yesterday, they all voted in favor of denying Phoenix's request to move down to 3A for a short period. It mostly came down to Phoenix not meeting the numerical requirements to move down because of school size and overall success of the athletic programs. But even some members of the committee were skeptical of their decision.
This is one of those decisions that 4 years from now we might regret.
The numbers that Phoenix wanted the committee to look at was the Almeda Fire's devastation. Over 2,000 homes and businesses destroyed, thousands of Phoenix Talent community members displaced, hundreds still not back in the area they called home for so long.
All those things really describe what this tragedy's really been about, and it's had a huge, long-lasting effect on our school district.
For students at Phoenix, just about everyone knows someone who lost their house in the Almeda Fire. They understand the sacrifices that had to be made after their lives were changed forever. ADAN Mendez lost his home and with it, stability in his life.
Most of the time, we weren't sure we were going to sleep, to be honest. We just slept on couches. Sometimes we just slept in cars. We just went wherever we could, and food always wherever we could. And that season, it was basically over for me after we heard our house burned down, you know.
ADAN made the tough choice to leave sports and his friends behind for a while to help his family. Instead of playing sports in the spring and fall, ADAN decided to help his family build their new home.
I just had to step up and take that role in helping.
Phoenix's plan wouldn't be a permanent shift down to 3A, rather just a 2 to 3 year period where the Pirates can get their numbers back up. Sports like football, volleyball, and softball are seeing the lowest turnout in years. That means fewer teams for development. It put more inexperienced players on varsity, affecting the competition level of the teams.
So they need more practice on one thing, whereas varsity, we can spend our practice, already advancing those skills and focusing more on building up our skills rather than teaching somebody the basics.
But the difficulties don't stop there. Families displaced are scattered around the Rogue Valley, making getting to practices and games tough. For families like Marcelo Camargo's, participating in sports after losing their home in the Almeda Fire meant hard conversations before even considering playing.
We talked about it, and they made a plan and changed their shifts a little bit to where they wouldn't stay as long, and they would be able to come get me and not too late after practice.
It's rare, but sometimes Marcelo has to wait hours after practices before his parents can even pick him up. But it's worth it because for Marcelo, sports are his escape.
It just clears my mind and lets me see reality.
Phoenix High School has no doubts they will recover, but the road ahead is not short. Progress, though, is being made. For ADAN, it means he and his family are finally moving into their new home.
And finally seeing how you're not going to move out of this space, it was really a relief to not just me, but my parents, that to have this brand new house and be able to live in it until whenever we feel like it. That relief is really encouraging and thankful for.
Phoenix High School's level of competition and pool of student athletes do not meet the OSAA's requirements to move down. And as you heard at the beginning of the story, it was not an easy decision for the executive board to make.